I'm here coming to you on is it Thursday? It's a Thursday evening. Hope you guys are doing well out there. And I just want to bring you, I know I talked about the whole JP Morgan Chase scenario last night. So I'm probably going to bring that to you. I guess more or less I'm going to bring that to you kind of in a podcast kind of a style. So I'll go off camera to bring that one to you. But I will be honest, there's going to probably be some more that I'll bring to you later, because it looks like in the world of futurism that there's some other things that are going on with interesting things that are going on with ChatGPT, and it involves the military. I mean, we'll get into it at some point, but I want to bring you the actual JP Morgan biometric entry requirement first. So I'm going to bring you that one first. Hope you guys are doing well out there. I know it is Thursday evening, and I'm kind of late getting in here, but hey, I figure, you know, it's better late for me to come in here than never, right? So hang on just a second. So I've also been, this book has been, sometimes I'll rotate books, but that one's been one that I've been trying to finish up or get started with it and keep going. It's kind of heavy though, I gotta tell you. So hang on just a second here. Once again, hope you guys are doing well out there. This is Black Spring with Autumn on your Thursday evening, and I am going to be bringing you the actual report on the JP Morgan venture to bring the actual biometric entry requirement to their headquarters, their new facility, their new building. So I hope you guys are doing well out there. I know a lot of people probably relieved that, hey, it's almost the weekend, and this week has been, you know, a lot. Like, I will tell you guys this is just, you know, just my opinion, but I honestly think at times that the 4-day work week is a lot more difficult to do than an actual 5-day work week. And you probably say, Black Spring, what are you talking about? And I say that because on a 5-day work week, at least you have that thing in the middle, right? You've got that Wednesday, that hump day in there. So you've got that Monday, Tuesday. You got that Monday, Tuesday there. And you've got that Thursday, Friday on the sides. But then when you have just the 4 days, you don't have an actual, you don't have that, you don't have anything else, but just, you gotta go straight through. Simone Watchman, how are you? Just, you know, I'm playing around, honestly. Simone Watchman, thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm saying that because I'm still trying to figure out how I want, the bells and whistles things, I've done that before, and I'm not sure if I want to do that right now, if that's the way I want to do things on a regular. Thank you, I appreciate it. So I want to talk to you guys about the JP Morgan. I want to give you the actual liner, because you know, this day, time, and hour, you know, you got to bring some receipts. There's so many things that I could get into, so many things I would like to get into, but just for the sake of, because I've gotten started so late, but I'm thinking this weekend it'll be a good time. So once again, I hope you guys are doing well out there, wherever in the world you are right now. So let's go ahead and go with this. I thought I'd go off camera, but maybe I won't. Maybe I'll try to do it just like this. So, or I just want to say hi first, and then maybe I'll go off camera. So with this one, this is of course coming from biometricupdate.com. That's where this one's coming from. I meant to bring this one in yesterday, but hey, better late than never, right? But this is, of course, this is still a timestamp on October 10th. Okay, so you know it's not super fresh, but you know, to me, this is kind of a big deal, especially for those of you out there that are in the banking industry or in the financial industry, especially even in New York. Okay. So, Watchman says, bunch of thieves, JP Morgan. Okay, here we go. So, hang on here. So, according to this, the JP Morgan Chase's new Manhattan headquarters will require biometric entry. Okay. So according to this, when employees begin reporting to JP Morgan Chase's new Manhattan headquarters later this year, they will be required to submit their biometric data to enter the building. The policy, a first among major US banks, makes biometric enrollment mandatory for staff assigned to the $3 billion 60-story tower at 270 Park Avenue. Okay? Also, JP Morgan says the system is part of a modern security program designed to protect workers and streamline access. But it has sparked growing concern over privacy and the expanding use of surveillance technology in the workplace. Internal communications reviewed by the Financial Times and The Guardian confirmed that JP Morgan employees assigned to the new building have been told they must enroll their fingerprints or undergo an eye scan to access the premises. Earlier drafts of the plan described the system as voluntary, but reports say that language has quietly disappeared. A company spokesperson declined to clarify how data will be stored or how long it will be retained, citing security concerns. Some staff reportedly may retain the option of using a badge. Right? They may retain the option of using the badge instead, though the criteria for exemption remain undisclosed. So here again, everything that we've talked about this before, things that were at play in 2020, shout out to the class of CV19, as I always say. Those things are just on a loop, okay? They just seem to be on a loop. Okay, so I'll just keep going here. All right, hang on just a second. So it says they want to kill our eyes. Hey, see, you're always keeping us on our toes around here, without a doubt. Okay, so the biometric access requirement is being rolled out alongside a work at JPMC smartphone app that doubles as a digital ID badge and internal service platform, allowing staff to order meals, navigate the building, or register visitors. According to its listing in the Google Play Store, the app currently claims, quote, no data collected, end quote, though that self-reported disclosure does not replace a formal employee privacy notice. In combination, the app and access system will allow the bank to track who enters the building, when and potentially how long they stay on each floor, a level of visibility while defensible as security modernization unsettles those wary of creepy normalization of biometric surveillance in the workplace. Hi, Derek C. Williams. Thank you so much for coming in on my, I'm kind of, just kind of winging it right now just for a little bit here. But I promised this one, so I'm going to get it in for sure. Like this, okay? I'm going to get it in just like this. Okay, so executives have promoted the new headquarters as the, quote, most technologically advanced, end quote, corporate campus in New York, and that it is designed to embody efficiency and safety. Reports suggest that the decision to make biometrics mandatory followed a series of high-profile crimes in Midtown, including the December 2024 killing. See, I got you on that, Derek C. Williams. Killing of the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Within the bank, the justification has been framed as protecting employees in a volatile urban environment. Yet the decision thrust JP Morgan into largely uncharted territory. No other major U.S. bank has been publicly documented as requiring its employees to submit biometric data merely to enter a headquarters building. In other contexts, biometrics in finance have been used primarily for authentication. U.S. Bank, for example, has tested voice biometrics to replace passwords for certain customer service and internal systems. The pilot aimed to reduce friction and fraud risk, not to manage physical access. Other large banks, from Citigroup to Bank of America, have explored biometric technologies internally, but there is no evidence any have adopted a mandatory company-wide biometric entry policy. Industry analysts say that while JP Morgan's move is unusual, it aligns with a broader pattern. Quote, banks and financial organizations use biometrics as internal control, securing staff access to sensitive data and restricted areas, end quote, said an assessment by HID. That logic, tying biometric verification to high-risk environments such as trading floors or data centers, has long guided the sector's security philosophy. JP Morgan, though, is applying the same logic to an entire corporate headquarters covering thousands of workers from senior executives to administrative staff. The legal environment helps explain why this can happen in New York, but would be riskier in states like Illinois. Unlike Illinois' Biometric Information Privacy Act, which requires written consent, retention schedules, and penalties for misuse, New York has no comparable statute regulating employer use of biometric data. Let's see. I don't want people to think, oh, she's really sadistic. She's over there chuckling at somebody's death. No, I wasn't chuckling at the CEO, at the late CEO's, demise. No, it wasn't. This is I guess a little joke here between Derek C. Williams. I mean, it's a shame I'd say that, but I just thought I'd say it. Okay. All right, so I'll keep going here. All right. So, a 2021 New York City ordinance mandates signage and bans the sale of biometric identifiers in public-facing establishments, but explicitly exempts financial institutions. That leaves JP Morgan's policy largely governed by internal privacy statements and whatever contractual assurances exist with its technology vendors. In its London offices, JP Morgan already uses a voluntary hand geometry system to control access to secure zones, which the company says stores only encrypted templates that it cannot reverse engineer. The mandatory program in New York appears to build on that experience through the bank, though the bank has not released technical details about encryption storage or data segregation between systems, nor has it disclosed whether a third-party vendor will manage the biometric templates or if they will be housed on JP Morgan's servers. Critics warn that the bank's decision could normalize coercive data collection across white-collar workplaces. Biometric identifiers are immutable. Once compromised, they cannot be replaced like a password or badge. Labor rights attorneys note that even if employees technically consent, the choice is illusory when access to one's job depends on enrollment. They also point out that biometric logs could theoretically be correlated with productivity or attendance data, creating a new vector for workplace monitoring. Still, corporate adoption is accelerating, propelled by a security industry eager to market, quote, frictionless, end quote, access control. Vendors pitch biometrics as faster and more reliable than key cards or pins, eliminating lost credentials and streamlining compliance audits. In sectors handling large financial transactions, the case for stronger authentication is easy to make. For banks that have weathered cyber attacks and insider threats, the allure of definitive identity verification is powerful. The unanswered questions revolve around governance and accountability. Will JP Morgan publish a formal biometric privacy policy for employees, outlining how long data is retained and under what conditions it will be deleted? Who audits the system? What rights do workers have to challenge inaccuracies or demand erasure? None of that is public. The bank has remained silent, even as press coverage intensifies. Okay, so, oh my gosh, hi, I have Realize is here. Thank you, Realize, for coming in. I really appreciate it. On this Thursday, like I said, it's kind of like an 11th hour, decision for me to come in, but, I needed to get in, Let's see, let me go back and read some comments. But before I do, this is a lot to chew on, but is it a surprise? No, because I think there were a lot we've had fair warning, I would say. whether it was through one of the lovelies. This is Brave New World. So one of many. Sometimes I double fist some of these books. Or sometimes I reread books that I've already read. But we've learned, we've read the 1984. Some of us have. Yeah, even Animal Farm. You can learn a lot from Animal Farm as well. Orwell's Animal Farm. And I mean, there's tons of books out there. So we've had forewarning. I think 2020 was not a time to hide your head in the sand. And I think a lot of people resorted to that. When these people mention the word exemption, we know, hey, that's going back. That's getting a little close to home. I mean, whether you sought one of those back in 2020, if you run into those things, it's like, wow, that they're for that time, I mean, who knows? I think if it happened, it can happen again. But this in the workplace, I think the fight for this it'll be just as robust. Now, what kind of resistance are they going to get? I don't know, because I'm going to tell you the type of climate that we're in right now. I think we're in a time of great deception. The fact that I think that religion and politics are being kind of blended, it's being blended together. I mean, and I'll tell you this. Okay, so this might be a side. The first time I ever heard somebody say, "Oh, you can't be Christian and be and be a Democrat." I mean, see, that was, and I'll tell you at the end of this stream. You guys can guess. If I had the time, I'd create a poll right now. Who am I quoting that said that? And I'll tell you who it is at the end. But I want you guys to guess. What conservative influencer would say something like, "Oh, you can't be a Christian if you are a Democrat"? So that'll be the trivia of the of the stream. Who said that? Let's keep going here. So I don't know. A lot of industries were affected by COVID, by the COVID restrictions and all of that. A lot of people sought exemptions for that time, and but I'm not convinced that type of exemption will exist in another demic or another crisis. I'm not convinced that it will, because all of this has been, I don't want to say prophesied by some of the authors of before us. I'm just saying, a lot of things I told you guys on one of the other streams. I said, I'm framed to expose the frame. So, or you gatekeep to expose the gatekeepers. So that's what I mean. That's inevitably a job. But I acknowledge, that I'm doing it with transparency. I'm telling you, I'm doing it with, this is what I'm telling you. This is what I'm doing. Okay. Let's see. Yes. All right. You know what? Derek C. Williams. If I had a treat, I'd give it to you. You're the winner. You're the winner. So yes, it's the Mr. Tatum himself. So, and what they're doing right now, there's an entire event going on in DC. That's another creepy little event that's going on where I think they're saying it's like one communion, 50 states, completely, whether you're consider yourself Christian or you're a follower of Christ. To me, these people are, the way they put their political people next to Christ or God, it's almost like your screen is going to explode, because I can barely stand to listen to it. Okay, hang on a second. Realize says, as soon as I saw CT for the first time, I saw him as a sellout. Let's see. Hang on just a second. Hang on. I'm a little behind on the chat, but I'm with you guys. I'm I'm gonna catch up here in a minute. Okay, so let me go in here. Derek C. Williams, hang on just a, this might be going back further than you want me to, but it says doing abdominal work today. Oh, nice. Listen, okay, I appreciate it so much. Derek C. Williams, as well as realize. I appreciate you guys for coming in. Okay, just know that. Let's see. Derek C. Williams says, excellent, no self-censoring, and you missed your mention on the self-censoring. No, I did not. I didn't miss that. I appreciate it. So I'm just saying, it just takes a little time. It took me time to, that was years of self-censoring. It was years of self-censoring, and at this point, But I'm gonna be honest, I'm not convinced that there's not something else going on here. I mean, how do we know that? Oh, okay, we're gonna give everybody their channels back. So what else is going on here? Are you setting people up to get caught in something else? I mean, you have people lying in wait to say, oh, well, to just get people caught up in a completely different way. I'm saying anything's possible, at this point. Let me just keep scrolling here. Yeah, Brandon is, Tatum, he's definitely the one who said that. I'm just thinking, well, but, I mean, I'm just saying that I don't want to get into that. That's a whole different conversation, but I'm just saying the way things are being, I'm just thinking, well, doesn't it kind of go that most people were fleeing Europe to come to the US because they didn't want the mixture of, dare I say, church and state. They didn't want those things mixed. But it seems like whether they're going to say it directly or not, I'm working with what you are saying. That's what I'm working with. I mean, and that's the conclusion. Okay, so let me keep going here. Derek C. Williams says, I asked, have you heard about what's happening in the tiny country? No, I have not. I got you. Realize I just wanted to make, I didn't try to confirm it because I figured I'd let you, I figure I'd figure it out, or I appreciate that. Yes, he has shifted over the years. And to me, back during my discovery phase, if you will, I don't know if I call it a discovery phase. Back when I first started, when I came to my own walkaway conclusions, he actually, there were channels that I would watch. Listen, I'm not here to bash their channels. A lot of those conservative channels, I would watch them, but I ended up walking away from them. You walk in, and then eventually you end up walking away from a lot of it because it just gets to be, it's like it's in a different place now. And I don't know. I just think that they had a level of protection in 2020 that many of us didn't have for whatever reason. I don't know. Am I going to say they were being funded or supported by somebody else? In this game, in this world, I can't say that it's absolutely not possible. I can't say that either. Marcy T's here. Thank you so much, Marcy T, for coming in. I really appreciate it. So just for those of you that are just coming in, I brought you the receipts from biometricupdate.com on the JP Morgan Chase's new headquarters, requiring, biometric entry later this year. There is another piece that I want to get into involving ChatGPT and how it's being used, how the military is using ChatGPT. What could go wrong there, right? So I'm just saying there's so much going on. And I think while they got us distracted on all of this, dare I say, the late Charlie Kirk situation, there's a ton of global things that are happening behind the scenes. There's a lot of global things that are, happening, being put in place right now. Let's see. Marcy T, Flying Guillotine. Flying Guillotine, thank you so much for coming over. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Realize, she says, I truly think many people who look like our skin folk are not our skin folk. I think this has been happening for many years. Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. Realize. I mean, I don't know. I will say, one day, one day I might talk a little bit more about, like one day I was talking about how I remember when I talked about Candace Owens, I remember when they were doing, uh, I remember when they were doing Blexit, and when Blexit was going to Florida. To me, Blexit to me was kind of I thought it was kind of formidable movement. It was kind of, I don't know if it was a sweeping movement, if I want to use that, but I remember, back in 2020, 2021, and I remember Brandon Tatum. I remember his wife. I remember Turning Point USA. I think I might have discovered Turning Point USA prior to the whole Blexit tour, but I always kind of linked those people that were associated with Turning Point USA to Candace Owens. Now, whether that's what she wanted, or that was the brand, or that was, getting her started, or whatever, I don't know. I'm just saying, that this has been going on for a while now. So yeah, let's just keep going. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Marcy T, is that, oh my gosh, Old Head Deuce, are you in this place? Old Head, what is your other, do you have another alias right now? I'm trying to, I need an update, please. Or maybe I need a faster chip. We don't have chips anymore. We have exclusive hard drives, but I think mine have failed me right now. Let's see. Yeah, but there's a lot of things that are going on, whether you're a follower of Christ or not. I just think there's a lot of, I've seen these kind of blasphemous things kind of going on, or idolatry that's going on. And, it's more than disturbing. It's kind of a false light that they're putting out. Who is this guy? But there again, if I spin off into that, it'll be a whole different conversation. So I was bringing something that I thought was pretty Orwellian, a new epoch. I think we're in a new epoch right now. I think I talked about this back in 2020 when I said, we're not going back to the way things were prior to 2020. We're not. I think we began a new epoch, so to speak, if you will. Back then, I do, and it's pretty revealing. Everything that I think that came out then, our tolerance, our participatory obedience, all of that was revealed in 2020 and beyond. The compliance, they didn't have to do much. They really didn't. Marcia T says, I've been sleeping a lot. I'm quite depressed of all of this, that everybody's just letting it go. Hang in there. Okay, flying guillotine. Or is that you, Old Head? You. Wow, Old Head. I'm trying to keep up. Just send us send me an email with all of your names on there. I appreciate it. Marcy T says, America destroyed with a whimper. Powerful, Marcy. My sister is very powerful. So yeah, I just said this AI, all between the AI and so many things, there's a lot going on. At Flying Guillotine 22, I appreciate it. You're most generous. You are. It's nighttime. It's been a long day, but I had to come in because, I wanted to get this one in. But like I said, there's some other things I want to get into, but I probably won't do it this evening. But I thought I'd at least bring you guys the biometricupdate.com. I thought I'd bring you guys the JP Morgan Chase requirements that are coming out. So if there's anybody out here within the banking industry or financial industry, or I don't know, let us know what you think. If it's, in your area, You know, what do you see coming? What do you see coming out? Derek C. Williams says, here's some biometrics for me. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Watchman. I appreciate it. He says, still here listening while I'm driving. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of you guys for coming in, because I mean, I didn't know what to expect, but because, you know, I mean, I sometimes it's, you know, I get home and I'm kind of toast, kind of mentally toast, but then this is good. This is good too. It's good for me to do. And so yeah, I didn't do my bells and whistles. I just decided to do this. I think this is a little bit more organic. I mean, I had said once upon a time I'm gonna bring back note cards. Hey, we're gonna make note cards great again, right? Make note cards great again. Marcy T says, "Oh, Marcy T, I appreciate you so much." She says, "You guys, we are some." Hey, we're trying to hang in there. We're trying to hang in there. I appreciate you guys, because I always say, when I say shout out to the class of CV19, you guys know who I'm talking to. And it looks like we might have a class of, we've got a new class here. We've got some new members in the class. Realize. I appreciate her so much for coming in. Derek C. Williams says, have I heard of a have I heard of a 3 square market in Wisconsin? No, I have not. No, I have not. It makes me curious about it, because Wisconsin, there's a lot. I mean, I don't know. I have a little bit of history with there. Oh my gosh, it's John Roberts. John Roberts is here. Wait, easy with the easy with the frame there. Flying Guillotine 22. Let's see. It says, you are the first Black conservative I ever watched. Easy. I don't know about that. I don't know about that moniker there. I don't know about that box there. Conservative. Yeah, I mean, my channel. I was never even self-professed. Okay. It was a point of discovery. And it was a discovery through the lens of the conservative. But you know, it's just more about clarity at this point, because I don't believe in illusions. I don't believe in left and right. And there is no. I mean, it's all the same cult, same party, you know. It's the illusion. Okay. Because we ended up back in the same place. It's a loop. Realize says, let me read this. There's going to be some resistance eventually. Hopefully it's not too late. Many truly believe in the system, but when it affects you and your family, when it comes knocking at your door, what do you do? I love it. I love the introspection there. I really do. And unfortunately, some people would rather hide their heads in the sand. Realize. And I've seen that from people that a lot has changed. CV19, COVID-19, that whole era changed, it changed a lot for it, changed my view of people. I think it destroyed a lot of relationships. It destroyed some families. Some families that didn't agree with the vaccines. There was division brought upon, it was brought upon by that. And it's the next thing. The next thing is what I think, we need to be prepared for. Marcy T says, you let them know they are not welcome on your property whatsoever at all. First of all, you paint all your trees in your yards purple, and then that means they gotta go away. Nice. Marcy T says, we are at that point. Well, I really appreciate you guys for coming in this evening. But I'm definitely going to try it this weekend. I'm just thinking, guys, this is our weekend. This is our weekend to get in, because I kind of want to do a full-on show Am I going to do it with bells and whistles? That part, I don't know. I'm thinking I kind of like doing this. I kind of like doing this, I kind of like doing this. And I'm still trying to figure out, shout out to John Roberts on the Patreon. I'm still not sure, exactly sure about it or how I would do it, but and maybe my rhetorical x-ray machine. My rhetorical x-ray machine, guys, that is a column inside of Black Spring with Autumn. It's not separate. It's Black Spring with Autumn for sure. Okay. So just keep that in mind. When you see that on the channel, you'll know, I'm just letting you know that. I'm telling you that. Okay, so let me get this in here. He says, we fight, Geronimo said at best. He said, I wish I would have been the last man standing. I wish I would have continued to fight. Look at you, Mars CT. That spirit. John Roberts says, the government shutdown almost stopped me from traveling to Miramar Beach and eating steak last week. Well, I mean, there's another liner that I saw that, if the government shutdown doesn't get squared away soon, that it's going to affect SNAP benefits. So, it's, they're just going to keep cooking up the headlines and, just keep, but that's what they do. That's their job. That's their job, to frame, to gatekeep. That's, if you're a content creator, that's your job too, But I mean, I'm acknowledging mine. So, and I'm telling you, I'm doing it I'm being transparent. I'm telling you, this is what it is. And Derek C. Williams says, the government shutdown is making lazy folks realize the gravy train is over. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to kind of wrap it up for now. Let's see. I was working on some, I am sun-drying tomatoes. That's it. I have sun-drying tomatoes right now. And so I just want to get those done and maybe kind of wrap it on up. Wrap the evening up. But I appreciate you guys for coming in for the biometricupdate.com. And but I will have something else for you between tomorrow. We'll see how tomorrow goes. Okay. I might have something for you tomorrow and come back tomorrow with something else. And definitely the weekend for sure. But something that will be a little bit longer. I want to be able to do the whole Echo and Insight will be a shorter segment. And then of course, Black Spring will continue with commentary. But I'll have a very specific, we'll be using the rhetorical x-ray machine on x-ray and on Echo and Insight is what we'll be doing. And yeah. It says, wow, I've been watching these channels where these females are going out to dinner with unsuspecting men, and they're just being deplorable. Marcy T, please share a link with me. What are you watching these days? What are you watching these days? That's yeah. I'm curious. All right, guys. So let me get through here. Make sure I didn't miss anyone. And dare I say, hit the like button, because they always kind of, they're still playing games, But you can't convince me that the algorithms with the daytime and hour that we're living in, these algorithms are going to do a lot of work. It's going to make a lot of things. It's going to make a lot of gatekeeping and a lot of framing possible in ways that we didn't think of. It's going to do that. So, yeah. So who knows, because I think Jim Jordan was one of the ones that spoke up about this whole thing about, for political reasons, that people, YouTube content creators were shut down for political reasons and da-da-da-da-da. So we'll see. So let me go ahead and give a last minute shout out on this, on this Thursday evening. Let's see. And first through the doors was the Watchman. Watchman, thank you so much. Hope you're having a great wind down to your Thursday on the West Coast. If you're if you're on the 405, I don't know if you're anywhere near Orange County. Hang in there. Let's go with Derek C. Williams, of course. Thank you so much for coming in as always. And I'm trying to get going on. I'm trying to revive, some other things. So we'll see. X is the other thing. So I'm trying to get that going here. Realize. Thank you so much, Realize. I really appreciate you so much for coming in. So you guys just be aware of, be aware of some of these things that are going on. The surveillance state, it's already happening. Okay. I remember in the, if your child can hold a chicken nugget, they said in the airport, they can hold their own boarding pass, which, hey, they got their own devices now, right? If they can hold a chicken nugget, they can probably hold the phone or hold an iPad, right? So this should be saying that by now. Flying Guillotine 22. That's an interesting name. That's an interesting name. Flying Guillotine 22. Vendu. Guillotine Vendu. Let's go. Let's see. John Roberts, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. You guys, feel free to drop your links also in the stream at any time. That's not something that you need to ask. I just call it watering the gardens around here. Drop your links. Share like. Derek C. Williams, I will grab these links as soon as possible. Oh, but I did say that YouTube's rolling out some different things for mobile. I think for the mobile streams, there'll be a practice kind of a deal you can do on your mobile before you actually go live. And then I think there's this collaborative efforts also that are going to go into YouTube. So there's about 10 features that they're going to add to this. So we'll see. We'll see if it helps, the reach. Anarchy Television. Anarchy Television is here. Thank you so much for coming in. Yeah, you see what it... Oh, I didn't see it. Did we get a new visitor in here? Are we getting juice? Are we getting trolled? Are we getting trolls? Marcy T, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. It's good to see you in here, Marcy T. And Anarchy Television is here. So every now and then, if I wake up or something, if I'm lurking around, I'll say, oh my gosh, Anarchy Television is on. So you guys, make sure you're checking Anarchy Television out. Samoan, the Watchman says Orange County is lovely. Yes, it is. It's. I'm gonna tell you, coming out of LA, it's coming out of LA at certain times of the day. It's like, okay, you just added 3 more hours on my day, my already 14-hour day. But don't worry, the ocean's on my right, going back down to SD, I would say, back then. So I'm fine with it. That made it tolerable, even going all the way up. It was, okay, fine. I got the ocean on my left on the way up. So it says, Samoa Watchman says, boycott McDonald's non-chicken nuggets. Yeah, there's something in the chicken nuggets for sure. I don't need it. I don't want it. I wouldn't recommend it. All right, guys, well, I'm going to get back to wrapping up this Thursday evening and probably get back to the, sun drying these tomatoes. And, I don't know. I just love tomatoes. I know somebody asked me, are you frying tomatoes? No, I don't have any green ones. If I did, no, I don't even have, I don't know. I don't have one of those, what they used to call them back in the day, like the Fry Daddy, where people would have like fish fries and they would make everything all nice and beautifully battered and they just drop it. I don't have any of that, because frying to me, when somebody does it, well, at least back in the day, it could be very messy if you didn't have something that you could contain. You just fry it outside, fry whatever you're going to fry outside. And, but at least, some of my extended family had, they had one of those. But no, I'm not frying any tomatoes. I'm definitely not frying any tomatoes, but I am sun drying them. This is Derek C. Williams said, Well, hey, I didn't grow these this year. The only thing I have right now is some lemon thyme and some mint. I have lemon thyme and mint. My tomatoes, my little cherry tomatoes, didn't come back this year. They didn't come back this year. I thought I had some dill on coming back, but the dill didn't come back either. John Roberts says that red gold are the best canned tomatoes. I'm not familiar with those. Yeah, send me some information. Also, hey, the preppers are back, guys. It's like, it might sound like a little twisted, but I'm just thinking, there's something familiar about this vibe that I'm getting right now coming back to YouTube. It's like it's like a revival, or is it a reunion? I don't know. All the preppers, please stand up, or bring your prepper solutions when you come in. Derek C. Williams says mint goes very well with bourbon and a mint Jula board. Derek C. Williams. But I almost brought in something tonight. So I'll tell you what, I'll make you this. I'll tell you this much. When I'm on here, it'll be a mocktail. Okay? When you see me, it's a mocktail. I'm not making anything. It'll be a mocktail is what it'll be. All right. So yeah, we'll just say, I don't know what she comes on, she's drinking. No, she's not. It's a mocktail. So you could, but just stay calm. Everybody stay calm. And and John Roberts says, I like how Derek is thinking. Yeah, that's kind of nice, Derek C. Williams. I mean, you're giving us hey, you're giving us people that were considering that, yeah, maybe I'll do it. Or either, what is it? I don't know. I might have something crazy in there. Like, what is it? 19 crimes or something that off the shelf. I'll tell you, Walmart has a horrible wine selection. Really, really kind of crappy. They don't have like a Mirasole or anything like that. I mean, do I need to find a Ralph's, or, I don't know, guys. Mocktail, it's in mocktail mode, right? We'll call it the mocktail mode on Black Spring. Derek says mocktail code for Black Spring with Autumn from the man-made offensive biological weapon called the Korean. Well, you know what? And see, that was a working short for me. But back in the day, we did call it the mocktail. We did call it the COVID vaccine a mocktail, but it's a real thing. It's working language for me, and non-working language for me. All right, guys, with all that said, you guys have a great rest of your Thursday evening. And unless I get a second wind here, I'm going to be saying goodnight. All right, guys. Thank you so much, John Roberts, Marcy T, Flying Guillotine, Realize, Derek C. Williams, John Roberts, Anarchy Television. I don't think I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I'll get back tonight, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. I appreciate it. So I don't know. It looks like I got a couple of crowns, a number 3, a number 3 on there, Derek C. Williams. So you guys, if you guys can drop your links in here, I can hang out for a bit. I can hang out for just a bit if you guys want to. Make sure, if you have time. Maybe sometimes you don't have time, or sometimes you're not in a position to do so. But I'm saying you can just feel free to do that. Yeah, feel free to do that. Let's see. Well, I appreciate it, Derek C. Williams. So you guys have a great rest of your evening. And unless something comes up, or as I said, unless I get that second wind, I'm going to be calling it for right now. All right, guys. Have a great start to your Friday. Maybe I'll pop in the morning and let you know what I'm thinking about for maybe the evening, or definitely by the weekend. Okay, there you go. You see, Derek C. Williams, YouTube renegade and card-carrying conspiracy theorist, Derek C. Williams. Love it, love it, love it. Realize, and thank you so much. I appreciate it. You feel free to drop your link as well. Like I said, I mean, I'm just hanging out. It seems like I heard a rap song that says, I'm just hanging out. And I don't even remember. He might have been from the 90s or the early 2000s. 2000s. But, you know, I appreciate you guys so much. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here.